continue in the book of Matthew, chapter 13. We want to recap the parables. Like I said, there's a lot of important things with the parables of Christ that people sometimes go over people's heads. So you want to always focus on, because he always will say, the kingdom of heaven is like this. He that has to hear, let him hear. So he's trying to drop something heavy, so you got to pay attention, try to figure it out. So we're going to just recap real quick with the sower. Okay, we cover it real quickly. Let's go into the explanation, which starts verse 18. Because he did the parable, now he's explained the parable. So let me see. I think we did this class, what? A few months ago? It was a Monday class or a Sabbath? Day of Atonement, right? Right, Day of Atonement. Right. I know it wasn't a Sabbath. It was a day. Let's see if you guys remember. So I want to, who was here the Day of Atonement? The class. All right, so I know who to pick on. Okay. Who has let me get a, Andrell, grab the mic. I just want to make sure. Or somebody else, because you're like, all right. So I call you out. There you go. See if you guys mess up. All right, so let's see if we can break it down, see who can break it down. Let's read 18. We're in Matthew 13 and 18. When everybody's there, say con. Okay.
This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 13, verse 18. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower.
Okay, there's the parable of the sower. Read.
When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not.
Okay, and this is also, I think I touch on this also, dealing with the way we approaching the street ministry now, that there's going to be different type of people that are going to come in. Okay, there's different types. So this type, let's read.
And understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one, and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart.
So there is going to be people that are going to be slow learners. They're not going to get it as quick. And Satan is going to use that as a tool to snatch them out. You understand? So we have to figure out, when people are coming through those doors, what type of seed they are. So this type that comes in, they don't really understand what the Gocc is saying. Gocc is all over the place. I don't get it. I don't just, so he or she may need a more one-on-one tutor. The way to pick those things up, you have to, that's what we have the system when you bring people in, right? You meet somebody in the street, when you do the street ministry, you got their number, they come, you want to follow up with them, make sure they get it, and if they don't get it, then you may want to do a private tutoring with that brother or sister, because Satan is going to use their slow learning, if you will, to try to snatch them. All right? So read that again.
When anyone heareth the word, this is verse 19. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one, and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which receives seed by the wayside.
Right, so they understand there's the truth. They understand there's something here, but they don't have the full understanding. So those are the ones you want to watch out, because Satan is going to grab their lack of understanding to try to deceive them, right? Verse 20.
Verse 20. But he that receiveth seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anointing with joy receiveth it. Yet have he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended.
So, break that one for me, since you got the mic. You be the first one. Read the verse again.
This is I'll start at verse 20. But he that receiveth the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anointing with joy receiveth it. Yet Hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while? For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended.
He's gone. So break it down to me. What kind of personality this person is?
Well, this personality is someone that came to the truth. He's still kind of trying to get it, but because of family problems and things of the world, like pressure with everything around him, because when he comes to this truth, there'll be kind of a little bit problem there and there. Then he'll get offended and then they'll fall out.
Exactly. And so usually that brother or sister does not know they are weak because they're so excited about the truth. Ah, yes. But they haven't been tested. And they probably put out there, it's like you being a contender in a fight and your coach is like, you're not ready yet. I'm ready, coach, I'm ready. And you go in there, you get your lights kicked out, right? Because he wasn't ready. But he didn't know it because he was so excited because he loved boxing. Same situation. So you got to watch out for that spirit, and you got to root them in the right. And so these are not people that are not saved or they're condemned because they land on the rocky, ground. These are people to watch out for and how to protect them. They all have the potential to be a good seed, but you got to watch out for these things, right? So let's go real quick.
And Salaki on that, but and it says, but dure for a while also,
right.
And it don't give a time period how long that while is.
Exactly.
It could be 1, 2 years.
Exactly.
3. I mean, that's really not a long amount of time when you're doing. So brothers got to stay in this.
Right.
It's that doing for a while is not just like 6 months or nothing.
Exactly.
Doing this for 5 years, and that was still doing for a while.
Exactly. And usually it will be a brother or a sister that just got here and they're a superstar. It's like a huge. It's like a rocket. But then after that, it gets a little slower. Before you know it, they're 2 miles per hour. Then, where's that brother? Where he's been, right? So, something happened, right? And he's out, right? So, keep reading.
This is verse 22. He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. But he that receives seed into the good ground, you want to start at verse 22?
Start at Sister Patricia. Give her the mic. What is this? Read that again. Since you guys were here, see if you guys attain information. Read that again, Elder.
This is verse 22. He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful.
Okay, so what is it saying, sister? What kind of personality this person is?
I believe this is a person that hears the word, but is so taken up with things in the world, things that are distracting them. They're taken up with their jobs, their friends, their family, and they become, I guess the word says, deceitful of the riches, and it chokes the word. So all those things that are distracting them chokes the word that they're receiving, and now they become unfruitful. They can't handle or be fruitful in the word.
Right. Now, give me people that may fall into this category in today's world.
Well, people who are into, I guess, getting rich, making money.
Right. Who those people will be? Somebody help me out here. Give me. Celebrities.
Oh, okay.
Who else?
Sports,
business owners.
Yeah. People that play sports. Those
right. People that are making money or
yeah.
come from a certain tax bracket.
Yeah.
They're going to be a little harder for them to, give that up.
Right.
So when you have a brother in here or a sister that is wealthy, made it well for themselves, this is probably the things you have to look out for. Because what's going to happen, they're going to be consumed by wealth, and, they had a portfolio already set up for their life. They're going to be a millionaire by the age of 30, a billionaire by the age of, They had a plan, and they heard the word. And usually, people that are in that position, they will usually come into the word because they had a tragedy. Something happened. They lost their house, or they lost their wife. They got into a car accident, and they look at things from some perspective, and they find religion, and you understand? But then after a while, that old flesh start coming back. You understand? When things be getting good. So these are things you have to look for and counsel those people because they may come through these doors, because you're going to get people from all walks of life, right?
Or I'll get my money together, and then I'll come to the church.
Yeah. I want to do it for the body. I want to
Exactly.
do, just give me 2-3 years. I'll send you my tides from Baruba, the beach. I'll be, you got direct deposit, brother? Like, listen, I need you in the church, all right? All right, right? Let's keep reading.
This is verse 23. But he that receives seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit, and bringeth forth some 100-fold, some 60, some 30.
Okay, right? So these are the good seed. They come in, they understand it, they start running route at the gate, and they finish the work, right? But let's see something interesting. Keep going to 24. Let's go to 24. Chapter 20, verse 24.
Yep. Verse 24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which soweth good seed into his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat, and went his way.
Come on.
But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also.
Come on.
So the servants unto the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field?
Come on.
From whence then have it tares? He said unto them, an enemy have done this. The servant said unto him, What thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while you gather up the tares, you root up also the wheat with them.
Why did he said that? What do the tares in the wheat, the seed, the tare and the wheat have? What's familiar about them? What they have in common? Say again? Because these are farming lingos or farming things. I see Obadiah in the back. What is the similarity between the tares and the wheat? Say again?
They were in the same ground.
You're in the neighborhood.
They were planted by the same farmer, and
you're in the neighborhood. You're not in the street yet. You're close. One more.
Is it because they look alike? They're similar.
That's it. They look exactly alike when they're first growing. You can't tell them apart. So, what is this telling you? Right? Because right after he goes into the good seed, the good wheat, he goes into a parable about the tares. He said, don't separate them because they look exactly alike. You can't tear them apart. So there's going to be tares among us that look righteous, honorable, do the commandments. That brother's here, that sister's here all the time, but they're a tear. See that? They do identical. You can't point them out because they don't have the problems of the rocky seed or the seeded, on the waist side. They don't have those characteristics. They look good and pretty, identical to the good seed, right? So let's read.
Let's start at verse 29 again. But he said, Nay, lest while you gather up the tares, you root up also the wheat with them.
Come on.
Let both grow together until the harvest.
Come on.
And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather you together first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn.
So these are not the people that came to the church and left. These are people that are going to stick with the church throughout the whole process You understand? Because the people that left and things of that nature, you could identify them. Yeah, that brother had this spirit, let's pray for that brother. But you could identify that person. The tares, you like, what's going on, brother? It's a good brother, right? And that's why the day of judgment is going to be a day of rude awakening. Who got rejected? Right? So let's read it.
Going into the mustard seed. In verse 31, another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of a mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field, which indeed is the least of all seeds. But when it is grown, it is the greatest among herbs, and becometh a tree, so that the birds of the air come and lodge in the branches thereof.
So what can you get out of this parable? What can you get out of this parable? What is the significance of this parable? Come on, use your thinking hats. Who wants to take a crack at this case? There's a little mustard seed. It's insignificant, but when you grow, it becomes a great tree. The kingdom of heaven is like this. So what is that telling you? So the mustard seed represents who? Who? The least amongst us, the church, right? And it's going to become a great tree, right? So what it's saying is basically that the church is going to grow from a grass groove level, from the bottom, from the people that are from the bottom, the insignificant people. So you should not be looking for people with high standard or status in the church. Not to say they're not going to be here, but the root is going to be common folks doing great things by the Spirit of the Most High, right? So that's what that's saying. So let's read.
Verse
33.
33?
Yep.
Another parable spake he unto them. The kingdom of heaven is like unto leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal, till the whole was leavened. All these things spake Yeshua unto the multitude in parables, and without a parable spake he not unto them.
And I think we covered this last time. I couldn't break this one case. I got to ask read that again.
Verse 34. All these things spake Yeshua.
No, 33.
33. Another parable spake he unto them. The kingdom of heaven is like unto leaven.
Okay, the kingdom of heaven is like unto leaven. Read.
Which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal.
In 3 measures of meal. What's the 3 measures? 3 measures of meal, right?
Till the whole was leavened.
Till the whole was leavened. Did we cover this last time? I don't remember. This one's a hard one. I gotta think about this one. Say it's 32. Oh, verse 32? Go to 32.
Verse 32.
I think we covered this one. 31? Let's go to 31.
Verse 31. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of a mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field.
Right. I understand that part. But the part is, why did the woman hit it? There's something there. It's going to come to me. It's going to come to me. There's something there that's missing. I get that part about the leaven that's raised. I understand that. But there's something there, to your precept, you can understand. It'll come to me. Let's go down to 36.
Verse 36. Then Yeshua sent the multitude away.
Come on.
And went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field.
Come on.
And he answered and said
so
unto them.
They were concerned about that one. Wait a minute. We can understand the other ones,
right.
But what's going on here? Some tares, right? So let's keep reading.
Verse 37. And he answered and said unto them, he that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom. But the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that soweth them is the devil.
Uh-huh.
The harvest is the end of the world.
Uh-huh.
And the reapers are the angels.
Uh-huh.
As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity.
So the harvest is the end of the world, and it's dealing with what is that city? That Jehoshaphat. I'm going to make you come to the valley of Jehoshaphat. So the angels are not physically going to go and push people to an area. Come on, you get what I'm saying? The way the angels operate is through manipulating governments and situations to eventually us being gathered together, the righteous and the wicked, right? And then after that, he's going to separate, right? Let's keep reading.
Verse 42. And shall cast them in a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth.
Come on.
Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father.
Come on.
Who have ears to hear, let him hear.
So who has ear to hear, let him hear. So this is usually Christ is trying to drop something here. So what Christ is saying is, I'm going to gather everybody, and I'm going to sort things out. So don't worry about picking your brains and who's the wheat, who's the tare, just do the work. I'll take care of it. Okay? So let's keep reading.
Verse 44. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto treasure hid in a field, the which when a man hath found, he hideth, and for joy thereof goeth and selleth all that he hath, and buyeth that field.
I think we covered this. I think this is dealing with like protecting or giving value to the truth and sacrificing everything for the truth, right? So it's like a man who read that again.
Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto treasure hid in a field.
Come on.
That which when a man hath found, he hideth, and for joy thereof goeth and selleth all that he hath, and buyeth that field.
Come on.
Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchant man seeking goodly pearls.
Come on.
Who, when he had found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and brought it. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net that was cast in a sea and gathered of every kind.
Come on.
Which, when it was full, they drew to the shore and sat down and gathered the good into vessels, but cast the bad away.
Okay, and this is going back into the tares and the wheat. You know, it's like it's going to be a swoop of good and bad, and purification or separation, the good from the bad, and things of that nature, right? So that's the way it is. And it's like, that's how we have to look at ourselves as a church too. It's like people will come and go, and you know, it will be like that right combination of brotherhood and sisterhood to then be that pure, you know, unblemished, no drama, no issue, everybody, everything. There's no weak link. You understand, among us? It's the same situation. So that's how we have to look at the kingdom of heaven. Let's read. Yeah.
Matter of fact, Salaki, on that.
Sure.
Can we go to John 6? I mean, just
yep.
back, yeah, what you just
Come on.
said, though.
Let's bring it.
John 6 and 66.
John 66.
Yep, 6 and 66. John 6 at 6, matter of fact.
Yeah, 666. Okay.
It's ironic, though, that the verse, like, when you read the verse, though, like, you know.
John 6,
Yep.
verse 66.
You know what? I'm going to start at verse
65.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
Matter of fact, let me start at verse 60, though.
Come on.
It says, just to kind of show, like, how a lot of the disciples, like, you know, because sometimes people have the misconception that it was just 12, but he had a whole multitude, and then a lot of them left.
Yeah.
And only 12 stayed. Those were the righteous or that,
right.
that good seed that sprung up. But
exactly.
It says, many thereof of his disciples, when they had heard this, said, This is a hard saying. Who can hear it?
Come on.
When Yeshua knew in himself that his disciples murmured at it, he said unto them, doeth this offend you? What and if you shall see the Son of Man ascend up where he was before? It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
Come on.
But there are some of you that believe not.
Come on.
For Yeshua knew from the beginning who they were that believed not and who should betray him. And he said, therefore said I unto you, that no man can come unto me except it were given unto him of my Father.
Yeah, you know how powerful you got to be mentally to be like, right next to the guy who's going to plot to kill you, and and you're like, hey, shalom, brother. And there's not like one iota of Christ is looking at him with that mother, I want to, right? He gave them love, and he knew this is the guy who's going to kill me, right? This is the guy who's going to betray me, right? Even the day of the supper, he was like, listen, do what you got to do. You understand? So that's the level we have to, it's like we always have to be, I don't know, beyond our flesh. It's like transcend the flesh to to that level, Because we be like, the smallest things, Somebody sent a text about you behind your back. You found out. You ready can't hold your composure. You know what I mean? But imagine in Christ, he knew the guy who's going to betray him, right?
Sitting in the back of class.
Right. You quiet around him, Yeah, shalom, brother, Right. But that fake shalom, right? All right, come on.
Verse 66. From that time, many of his disciples went back and walked no more with him.
Come on.
Then said Yeshua unto the 12, will you also go away?
Come on.
Then Simon Peter answered him, Lord, to whom shall we go? Thou hast the words of eternal life.
That's it. Come on.
And we believe and are sure that thou art that Christ, the Son of the living power. Yeshua answered them, have not I chosen you 12, and one of you is a devil?
And that's, yeah.
Out of the 12, one of them
It's still right, exactly. So to show you, and I could imagine the disciples like, well, which one? Not me. You understand? So let's go back. Absolutely. So let's go back. Yeah, because the last final war or battle is that we have to win among ourselves is the battle of the flesh. That's the last situation. It's not, the not eating pork, remember the Sabbath day, honor your father and your mother. Those are things that are the basic situation. The final step is mastering our flesh to the point that we become spiritual being in the flesh. Okay? It's like that's what we get these movies, like the Star Wars, you become a Jedi because you master your members. They all get that from, Yoda, Judah, all these things are still going back to the scriptures, right? So let's keep reading. Let's go back to Matthew 13, and we'll pick it up at verse. Matter of fact, we'll skip, because there's the death of John the Baptist, and let's pick it up at verse 15, chapter 15, and dealing with the parable, and also the when the disciples ate without washing their hands. So let's pick it up there.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 1. Then came to Yeshua scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. But he answered and said unto them, why do you also transgress the commandment of your God by your tradition?
Come on.
For the Most High commanded, saying, honor thy father and thy mother, and he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death.
Come on.
But ye say, whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, it is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me.
Come on.
And honor not his father or his mother. he shall be free. Thus have ye made the commandment of the Most High of none effect by your tradition.
Right, so they had traditions that if you give a gift to the priest and also to your parents, you are exempt from honoring your father and your mother. And basically, the honoring your father and mother is you have to make sure that they are taken care of. They're in a good, look after them. Go see them once in a while. Mom, Dad, you okay? And things like that. Don't be, some, kids, their parent be rotten in the apartment, Help me, they be pushing with that button. I full on can't get up for like 3 days. And, so you got to check on your parents to make sure they're okay. Okay, always have a level of respect, right? So in the book of Matthew, in the book of Mark, let's go to Mark 7 real quick. It goes into more detail. And of course, when you read, it was referring to the washing, the tradition of washing pots and without, or your hands, they had the tradition of eating first, washing your hands before eating, right? So for Mark 7, I like it because it goes into more detail, but I want to also watch out for certain things in regards to Mark 7 because Christians may use this scripture to even say, the law of the dietary laws were done away with. But let me give you the full understanding of it. So let's go to Mark 7 and 1.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 7, verse 1. Then came together unto him the Pharisees and certain of the scribes, which came from Jerusalem. And when they saw some of his disciples eat bread with defiled, that is to say, with unwashen hands.
So when you eat bread or food defiled, that's to say with unwashed hands, read.
They found fault.
They found fault, read.
For the Pharisees and all the Jews, except they wash their hands off, eat not, holding the tradition of the elders.
So they would not eat any food except if they wash their hands and the cups and the pots. Read 4.
Verse 4. And when they came from the market, except they wash, they eat not. And many other things there be, which they have received to hold, as the washing of cups and pots, brazen vessels, and of tables.
Come on.
Then the Pharisees and scribes asked him, why walk not thy disciples according to the tradition of the elders?
Come on.
But eat bread with unwashing hands.
Uh-huh.
He answered and said unto them, well have Isaiah prophesied of you hypocrites?
Right, that's Isaiah. Read.
As it is written, this people honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
Come on.
For laying aside the commandment of the Most High, ye hold the tradition of men, as the washing of pots and cups, and many other such like things ye do. And he said unto them, full well ye reject the commandment of the Most High, that ye may keep your own tradition.
Come on.
For Moses said, honor thy father and thy mother, and whosoever curseth father or mother, let him die the death.
Come on.
But ye say, if a man shall say to his father or mother, it is Corban, that is to say, a gift.
Yeah, it is a gift. Read.
By whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me, he shall be free.
Meaning he should be free of that law, right? So that was the tradition of man that the Pharisees was establishing among the Judeans, which was designed to actually to break the law of honor your father and mother, because honor your father and mother is an everlasting law. It's not, you don't do something, okay, I'm free from that law. But they established these traditions, right? Let's read.
Verse 12. And ye suffer him no more to do aught for his father or his mother.
So he no longer have to do anything more for his father and mother, because he did that. Well, the rabbis told me, I just got to do this. Dad, don't call me. What you want? Listen. The rabbis told me, I gave you whatever, You got the gift last week? That's it. That's what you're going to get from me. Leave me alone. I'm free. Right?
And it's crazy, too, because it's like your mother and father took care of you growing up.
Right.
You're supposed to show that same respect when they older.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Trying to avoid it because it's hard.
Exactly. They're knowing, exactly. Exactly. So you always have to have that respect to your parents, right? Let's read it.
Verse 15. Salakia.
You could start
verse
at
12. Is that verse 12?
14.
14.
Yeah.
And when he had called all the people unto him, he said unto them, hearken unto me, every one of you, and understand. There is nothing from without a man that entering into him can defile him.
So what he was talking about, keep reading, he's gonna explain it.
Verse 15, to start from the top. There is nothing from without a man that entering into
The
him.
word without, what that means, outside of a man, right? Read.
That entering into him can defile him.
Uh-huh.
But the things which come out of him, those are they that defile the man.
Come on.
Verse 16. If any man have ears to hear, let him hear.
Come on.
And when he was entered into the house from the people, his disciples asked him concerning the parable.
Concerning the parable. So he was breaking down the parable. Let's read.
And he saith unto them, are ye so without understanding also?
Uh-huh.
Do ye not perceive that whatsoever thing from without entereth into the man, it cannot defile him?
Uh-huh.
Because it entereth not into his heart, but into the belly, and goeth out into the drought, purging all meat.
Purging all meat. So when you eat a meat that is, for instance, certain parts are bad, a raw pea, things of that nature, right? What's going to happen is you're going to eat it. You're going to probably have diarrhea, right? And diarrhea is a sign that the body's purifying itself and throwing out the stuff that is no good. So your body has an automatic filter system to reject things that are not supposed to be there and accept the minerals that's supposed to, there's benefit to it. So the body already has a component to purify the meat on its own. So all the stuff that you throw out is the stuff that the body didn't need. Okay? That's why it's very important to have a good immune system. When you have a weak immune system, then the body keeps things that are bad for them and stage and things of that nature. So the body already has that. And clearly at that time, we probably had a much stronger immune system than we have now. But the body already has that. So if you eat things, if you eat meat and you didn't wash it, for say, and you ate it, the body automatically has a system of, separating the bad from the good, so to speak. Okay, so that's what the Christ was saying. Right? Let's read it.
Verse 20. And he said, that which cometh out of the man that defileth the man. For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts.
Come on.
Adulteries, fornications, murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within and defile the man.
So you haven't been in a situation, you have somebody, right, that you want to tell them some gossip or something, and they're like, don't tell me. Right? They don't want to even hear it. They don't want to get involved. La, 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 right? They don't want to receive it. I don't want to know. It's the same energy times 20 or 100 you give it with sin. You understand? So if you see something that's going to lead you astray, no, let me go here. Nope, that's not a good place. I'll be right here. Nobody can see me. Right? You cannot allow certain things in your members, right? So your environment has to be holy. What you listen to has to be holy. What you're wearing has to be, whatever, it cannot, anything that would defile your members, you have to cut it off, right? So that's how you got to operate with the same thing, because anything that comes into your scrotum is like a computer. You store it, and it will be manifest later on, subconsciously. So you got to maybe, and in this world it's so difficult because you walk down Times Square, or even, you got porn, you got homosexuality, you got, lust, you got all the billboards. So you got to have one of those things with those binders, you just don't, and things of that nature. And you haven't been in a situation that you go down south or go somewhere in the woods and you feel much, better because there's still spirits up there. You understand? There's no, in the big cities and all that, that's where you got Satan on steroids. When you go outside, you're like, I feel much better now. You understand? You don't need as much food. I remember I was we went camping, we went to the feast. I didn't eat that much. I lost a little weight. I saw a little six-pack. I came back, got back with my belly. 2 days later, good Lord. What happened here?
Six-pack out there?
Yeah, well, I was looking like, saw that? Babe, look. I got 3.5. It's almost 6. 2 days later, it's like 1.5. 1/2. Half of one, right? So you all that's important. Everything has energy, so you have to be sure what, people you and you want to be careful because you don't want to become across a holier than thou, type of person, and especially with your family, they're gonna think of, you think you're better than us, that kind of attitude. So, but if you put on Christ, then most of it's gonna automatically separate the people that's supposed to be in your life anyway, because you're gonna have nothing in common anyway. So you just, it's just a natural process. So